The golden light of late afternoon streamed into the massive glass windows of the penthouse suite, shimmering against the chilled champagne bottle that sat untouched on the marble counter. Olivia Hartley stood with both hands gripping the edge of the sink, staring out across the skyline of Chicago, though her thoughts were 1,000 miles away. The echo of laughter and clinking glasses came from the other room, where the wedding planner was fussing over final arrangements. But it wasn't her wedding. It wasn't her future anymore. She was just the ex-wife. Only a week ago, she had been Mrs. Everett Hartley, wife of one of the youngest and most successful real estate moguls in the Midwest. They had built an empire together. She'd stood by his side through failures and lawsuits, long hours, late nights, and the brutal grind of ambition. And now, all that was gone, snatched away like a silk scarf in the wind. Worse, he had left her not for a stranger, not for a model, not even for a scandalous fling. He had left her for Sabrina, her best friend since college, the woman who had toasted Olivia's anniversary, had cried at her baby shower, had held her hand when Olivia's father passed. That same Sabrina was now in Vera Wang, trying on a dress for a wedding to Olivia's husband only 6 weeks after the divorce was finalized. But Olivia wasn't crying. Not anymore. She had cried for days. Then something inside her shifted. Now, Olivia was planning something else. 2 hours before the wedding, Sabrina adjusted the lace veil in front of the ornate gold mirror in the bridal suite of Chicago's most elite hotel. Her smile was perfect, her makeup flawless, and her eyes dancing with victory. "I can't believe it's finally happening," she said to her mother, who looked on proudly. "I told you, sweetheart, you were always mine." "For more than friendship," her mother said with a wink. "Now you're stepping into your rightful life." There was a knock. The door opened slightly. Everett stepped in. "Wow," he murmured, drinking in the sight of her. "You look incredible." "I better," she teased, adjusting her diamond earrings. "I stole you fair and square." Everett chuckled, but there was a flicker, barely perceptible, of hesitation in his eyes. It was subtle. If Sabrina had been paying attention, she might have caught it, but she was too drunk on triumph. Olivia didn't tell anyone her plan. Not her mother, not her sisters, not even her lawyer, but she told her daughter's 6-year-old Lily, the one person who didn't yet understand betrayal but knew that mommy was hurting. They were in the back of a long white limousine. Lily held a small teddy bear, one Olivia had sewn back together after the dog tore it apart last year. Olivia's hands were steady on the seat, her gaze unwavering. "Are you okay, Mommy?" Lily asked softly. Olivia nodded. "I am now." As the car curved around Millennium Park, the top retracted. Olivia's long black hair caught the wind. She was dressed in a silk gown, not a wedding dress, but something elegant, regal. A statement. The world needed to see her as she was, not a victim, but a woman reborn. Guests were arriving at the rooftop garden of the Waldorf Astoria. White roses curled around archways. Violinists played in the background. The air smelled of money, exclusivity, and expensive betrayal. "Did you hear the ex-wife isn't coming?" one woman whispered to another in a sapphire gown. "Of course not. She's humiliated. Can you blame her?" They sipped their champagne, unaware of the low rumble in the distance. Then someone shouted, "Is that a limousine?" Heads turned. The long white vehicle glided to a stop right at the edge of the red carpet. The driver got out, opened the door, and out stepped Olivia. The air shifted. Silence fell. She walked in slow, deliberate steps, her heels clicking on the stone, her face calm but fierce, like royalty arriving to take back a stolen crown. In her arms, Lily clutched the teddy bear. Sabrina stood at the altar with Everett, her face frozen in horror. "Olivia, what the hell are you doing?" Everett hissed as she approached. "I'm not here for you," she said coolly. Her voice wasn't raised, but everyone could hear her. "I came to give my daughter what you couldn't, the truth." She turned slightly, facing the crowd. "I was your wife for 11 years. I gave you my youth, my love, my loyalty. And this woman," she gestured to Sabrina without even looking, "was my best friend." There was a gasp. Phones were raised now. Some people were recording. "You're all here to celebrate betrayal dressed in white. But let me make something clear. This is not a wedding. It's a graveyard. You're bearing decency, loyalty, and trust, and you're throwing flowers over its coffin." "Olivia," Everett stepped forward, trying to hush her. "Don't do this in front of who? My daughter? She deserves to know the truth. You walked out on your family for a fantasy. And you, Sabrina, you carved your dreams out of my pain. I won't let you pretend this is love. It's cowardice in a tuxedo." Sabrina's eyes darted, mascara trembling on her lashes. "Leave," she whispered. "Get out." "No," Olivia said. "I'm not here to beg or break down. I'm here to remind you that you don't get to erase me. Not from this story, not from his legacy, and certainly not from hers." She kissed Lily on the forehead, turned to Everett one last time, and said, "You left a queen for a pawn. Let the game begin." Then she turned and walked back to the limo, heads turning as she passed, cameras still flashing. A hush fell as the limousine door closed and the engine roared to life. The wedding never finished. Everett disappeared into the hotel 5 minutes later. Sabrina was left alone at the altar, trembling and humiliated. The video went viral before the reception even began. Weeks later, Olivia was on the cover of Forbes Women, not as Everett's ex-wife, but as CEO of Hartley Revival, her new luxury design firm. She used her divorce settlement to launch a brand of eco-luxury homes, and her first major investor? A woman in the crowd that day who'd heard Olivia speak. She never gave Everett another glance. When he tried to call, she never answered. When Sabrina posted sad selfies, Olivia was climbing podiums, accepting awards, and every night, before tucking Lily in, she reminded her, "Sometimes life tries to break you in front of everyone. But if you stand tall, they'll remember the woman who rose, not the ones who tried to bring her down."